Hi, good evening, everyone, and a warm welcome to today's Expert Speak session hosted by Naukri Campus. We are thrilled to see students joining us from various colleges across India. And if you are someone curious about product management or exploring the high growth tech careers, this session is absolutely for you. Students are joining, we can see that. Yes. So before we begin, I'll give you guys a quick reminder that the session is being recorded. You can drop your questions anytime in the Q&A box, which is present at the right side at your upper hand. And towards the end, we'll take live questions from you guys, which will be directly answered by Vishal. And with that, let's get started. I'll start the session. So, guys, today we have with us Mr. Vishal Bagla, VP Product Development at AmbitionBox, an InfoEdge company. Vishal is a seasoned product leader with 12 plus years of experience across product management, consulting, analytics, and machine learning. He has worked with organizations like Oracle, American Express, Alvarez and Marshall, INDmoney, and now AmbitionBox. At AmbitionBox, he has played a key role in growing the platform and building their first monetizable product from zero to thousands of paying customers. We welcome you, Vishal,
Thank you,
and
Anna.
thank you so much for joining us today. The stage is all yours. You can please take over.
Thank you, thank you, Anna. So I hope I am audible, visible, and my screen is also visible.
Yes, Vishal, we are
Okay,
getting.
thank you, thank you. Hi everyone. Welcome to Decoding Product Management, understanding the skills, mindset, career growth for the next generation PM. Just a brief about myself. What Anna also mentioned that currently I work as a VP of Product Management with AmbitionBox. So prior to this, I worked with INDmoney as lead of analytics and also as a product manager. Before that, I worked as a manager in analytics and digital transformation division of Alvarez and Marsal. I worked with American Express, Oracle, and eValueServe. And I did my master's from IIM Calcutta and bachelor's from Delhi College of Engineering. So that's a bit about me. So let's deep dive into today's session and understand and decode what product management is. So first of all, we'll try to understand product management from different perspectives. What seasoned leaders across the world think about product management, what exactly product management is. So according to Ben Horowitz, who is the co-founder of Anderson Horowitz, so a good product manager is the CEO of the product. So they are responsible for defining the product, guiding cross-functional teams, and ensuring product succeeds. And when it is said that CEO of the product, it is essentially in terms of the responsibilities that you carry to deliver the success of the product. So that is what is meant by CEO of the product. Second is by Marty Kagan. So Marty Kagan is a very renowned author and a very known famous personality in the world of product management, and he is author of a book called Inspired. So product management is all about discovering a product that is valuable, usable, and feasible. So it has a very important aspect that the product should be usable by users. Users should value your product, and obviously it should be feasible to develop that also. And third is by Melissa Perry. She is the CEO of Products Labs and Product Institute. So, according to her, product management is the process of building products that solve problems for users in ways that meets the goals of the business. Right? Now, if you combine all the three definitions or different perspectives that you have, a common theme or common definition that comes up is a product manager is someone who creates products or who works on building products that are relevant, that are usable, that are valuable to users, and at the same time, they serve the organizational goals as well. They achieve business objectives. So you can't dissociate these two things. So they have to be connected to each other in terms of going or building parallelly. Something which is pure play valuable to user but doesn't make sense for the business, then business will suffer. That product may not succeed from a business perspective. If something is purely from a business perspective, not relevant to users, that also product will not succeed. Right? So it has to be married and it has to be combined. Right? These two things should go together. Okay? So that's a very, very important thing. Now, to understand what product managers essentially do, right? So, product management is essentially uh, at the intersection of three different elements. One is business, second is technology, and third is user experience. And these three are very, very important aspect. And any product manager we pick up works at the intersection of these three sort of domains or functions. And let's understand also why three and how each of these functions play an important role in this case. So, from a business perspective, if the product manager doesn't understand business, then how are they going to drive business goals? How would they know that this product will help me or this feature will help me achieve my business goals? Right? So, that is one aspect of the business. Second aspect is if you don't understand business, if you don't understand industry or your even domain name, how are you going to make relevant products or how are you going to align yourself with what is required in the industry? Right? So that is another aspect of the business. So one is achieving business goals, and second is building the right products that are suited as per the requirements of the industry, as per the needs. So that's where having a good understanding of business is really, really critical for product managers. Second aspect is UX, which is user research or customer research. Now, these products are created for users. Right? Users are going to use these products, or your customers are going to use these products. So, usability, right? Uh, Value of the product, friendliness of the UI, the interface that is being created, is very critical to building a good product. So the product manager also needs to have an understanding of the basic user research or a user experience principle, so to say. Right? Without these things, the product may not fly with users. So you may create a product which is very, very solid, but the user experience in terms of using that product is very, very poor. It's unlikely that the product will succeed. Right? Third aspect is the technology aspect or the tech aspect. Now, you may have certain idea that is relevant to the business. You think it can be created in a really good way, easy to use manner also, but then who's going to code it? So that's where the technology comes in. So the engineering team or the technology team works on building that. So now you don't need to be a coder or a developer to create that product, but you need to have some basic fundamental understanding of how things work. Otherwise, you will not be able to coordinate and work with engineers. So from that perspective, it is really, really important and essential to have that fundamental understanding of technology also. And this is where these three elements come in together as a key role or key responsibilities of the product manager, or maybe the intersection of product management, as we say. So this is how we define product management in terms of working at the intersection of business, technology, and user experience. Now, understanding the key differences between product manager and a project manager. Both are PMs, and a lot of people. So I've seen many people confusing product management with project management, or they may be calling out in a same fashion, right? In fact, in a lot of organizations, product managers are doing the job of a project manager, project managers are doing the job of product managers, etc. So people are using interchangeably, but there are quite a few differences in terms of the roles and responsibilities that each of these two roles play. So first I'll talk about project manager. Now, a project manager's key responsibility is into uh, tracking the key initiatives of the organization. There are, for large organizations, or for that matter, even smaller organizations, there are multiple initiatives that are ongoing. Right? A project manager typically keeps a track of how these initiatives are going on in the organization. They ensure that all the stakeholders are doing their job. They are meeting the timeline that they have committed. If there are any red flags, they call that out right on time, try to get it resolved so that the entire project or all the projects that are there, they keep on moving as per their expected speed and are completed as per the respective timeline. Right? So essentially, if you summarize this, project manager's job is to ensure that whatever projects an organization is running, all the projects are being run smoothly, on time, and the right statuses are being conveyed to the relevant stakeholders. So that's the major job of the project manager. Now, coming on to the product management part or the product manager's part. A product manager does a lot more than what a project manager does. So, project management is a very, very small subset of a product manager's overall job or overall role that encompasses the product manager's career. Right? Uh, it starts from understanding what users want to build. What is it that users require? That this is the kind of a product that should be built upon. This is the kind of feature that is required. This is understanding how users are using the product also, right? So everything from understanding what needs to be built, what users want, to the tracking of how it is being used, right? So that's on the execution side. So that is part of the product manager's job. Second is thinking about the future, which is the creating a roadmap, strategic plan, etc. What is it that we should create in the next 3 months, 6 months, maybe 1 year, right? What is it that will keep us competitive in the market, or what is it that will keep us at number one position in the market? So all these things are really essential and important aspects of a product manager's job. And these things differentiate a product manager and a project manager. Okay. So let's deep dive slightly into the nitty-gritties of what product managers also do at a slightly deeper level also. So after this slide, I will take up few questions. So if you have any questions, please feel free to ping in the chat window. So after this slide, I will take up the questions that are that you guys have till now. So this is a small list from a lot of things that product managers do. Okay. So first thing is gathering requirements. So when I say gathering requirements, it essentially means gathering requirements from different stakeholders. Different stakeholders could mean your customers or your users. So difference between customers and users is customer is essentially your paid user. Now user is a blanket term. User could be a free user or a paid user, but typically we call paid user as a customer. Right? So you may talk to users, you may capture feedback from users from different ways, let's say through emails, through survey forms, through various touch points, etc. On your website, right? And I'm sure you must have seen, did you like this project, or did you like our website, how can we improve, etc. Some of these things you may have come across on various apps or websites that you have used. So that is in a way gathering requirement from users. These requirements could also come from maybe sales or your customer success team who work with clients on a very close basis. So the companies may want to work with them. When these salespeople or account managers or customer success managers work with clients, so they pass on a lot of feedback to them that this is what we like, this is what we want to work upon, etc. Now you can get that feedback from these teams also. These teams are internal. So you tend to gather requirement from all these sources. Second aspect comes, which is there is creating documents, right? So there are different types of documents that product managers work. So PRD is one very common document. So right, if you have basic understanding of a product management job, so then you must have heard of PRDs, right? So PRDs are product requirement documents. BRDs are business requirement documents, right? A PRD is basically a document that you create and give it to your engineering team to create a feature. So PRD is like a very detailed document which will have all the elements encompassing everything that are required to create a feature. The logic, the messaging, the design, the copies, headings, titles, interactions, the data you want to track, the metrics you want to track, etc. Everything becomes part of a PRD. Right? So think of it like a love letter from a product manager to a developer, right? So whatever the person can write, anything and everything, right? That could make the other side convinced, right? So you write in that PRD. So that's one way. Then going to the user research. So user research and gathering requirements. So we have sort of covered in a way here. So user research is part of gathering requirements here. Product ideation. Now, when you work as product manager, you are essentially bombarded with ideas from all the places, right? From left, right, center, up, down, etc. Everyone is there to give you these ideas because it doesn't take too much to give an idea, right? It's just a free piece of advice, and I think a favorite hobby for people is to give advice to others, right? So they'll also keep giving you advice that we would want to use this in this way, that way, etc. But as product managers, you have to filter out, you have to think what is it that is relevant for you, what is it that you would want to build and capture. Right? If you keep building everything, then you will be able to build nothing essentially. Right? It will be like a complete mess. So you have to align everything, you have to ideate in such a manner that everything is aligned with your vision that you want the product to achieve. Then customer support, right? So since you will be building products for users, so it is also very essential to understand what your customers, uh, I mean, what challenges or what issues your customers are facing. So you can connect with your customer support team, which could be an internal team in most of the cases. So you talk to them, you try to understand, right? So that's how you support. If required, you also get on a call with customers. So from my example, from my experience, while I was working at INDmoney, so we used to do a lot of tracking for customers, for mutual funds, stocks, etc. And if a client will come back and say that my data is incorrect, etc., but it looks right to us, right? Then we will get on a call with clients, right? So as product manager, I will get on a call with the client and try to understand what is it that they are facing, right? What challenges, what issues are they facing, and try to address them, right? Even at AmbitionBox, so we get a lot of queries wherein clients may have certain concerns about their data or about using the platform, etc. So we get on a call, we walk them through, we give them a demo, we address their queries, etc. So that is a customer support. Now you may do it directly with the customers, you may do via your support team, either ways, but that is essentially a part of a product manager. Next is sales support, which is very important, right? Now you are building a product, right? You understand the best nuances of it. How does the product work, right? Why did you create that product in the first place? Which you will capture from this gather requirements, user research, product ideation. So these three steps will actually help you build the why of this feature or why of this product. So whenever you launch any new feature, you should work with the sales team closely to support or to help them or to coach them or train them in a way, right? Wherein you tell them that this is the reason, or this is the why for creating this feature. This is how companies can use this. This would be my typical user persona or a typical target user who would be using this feature. So you give all the information, all the ammunition, all the insights to the sales team, okay? So that whenever they are out in the market to sell that product or that feature, they have all the necessary information that is required. Next is go-to-market strategy. Go-to-market strategy is essentially deciding uh, how or what is the value proposition of your product. So the way it works is whenever you create a product, before it hits the market, you create a go-to-market strategy. So go-to-market strategy has multiple components. First component is around pricing, right? What will be the pricing of the product? Second component is who is the ideal customer for this product, right? Third is what is the value proposition for this product? Fourth is positioning of the product itself. How are we going to position it? Are we going to position it as very premium? Are we going to position it as like product for masses? So Apple is positioned as product for, as a premium product. While Micromax, right, if you guys remember, or maybe Lava or Oppo or Carbon or these types of brands, they are positioned for masses. Okay? Nothing is right or wrong. It just depends on the company's philosophy, the way they wish to approach. If you talk about big brands, maybe uh, Armani, Gucci, etc. So they have a very premium positioning. The pricing is also premium. So based on how you want to position your product, what is the value proposition that you're providing, so everything that comes into the go-to-market strategy. And the last piece is stakeholder management, which means talking to anyone, everyone in the organization who could have an impact on your product. It could be a legal team. A lot of cases, you may have to take buy-in from your legal teams also when you're building these products. You may have to create regulatory documents if you're working in a fintech organization. You may have to, right? Or in fact, you will have to look at the compliance aspects or the regulatory aspects that are there to build a product, because you can't build anything and everything on your own, right? So you have to look at those aspects. So you may connect with your compliance team, you may connect with legal team, then in order to promote the product, right? So if you want to run maybe paid campaigns on Facebook or Google, etc., then you connect with your marketing team also. So everything comes into the stakeholder management. So you may have to connect with many people, right? So now I'll take a brief pause for questions that are there. Please feel free to put in the chat window that you have. Okay. So first question is, how much UX knowledge should a PM have? Do I need to know Figma? See, you don't need to be a designer. That's an important thing. You don't need to be a designer to uh, to become a PM, but you should understand the basic fundamentals. What are the basic principles of UI UX, right? So, what is the typical mental model that people behave, right? What is a design system, etc. So these fundamentals are good if you know, and if you just spend like a day or two, maybe one weekend max, so the knowledge that you will be able to get in that weekend should be good enough from that perspective. Now, do you need to know Figma? My suggestion will be that you should learn Figma, right? Because it's going to help you and not harm you in any way, right? And why so? In case you have to create some sort of a wireframe, right? Or a skeleton to show it to someone. If you know Figma, then you can do that quickly also. Even though we have a lot of AI tools, etc. in today's world, but having the most fundamental understanding or the basic understanding of the tools is always handy and is always relevant. Okay. So it's not mandatory, but my suggestion will be that try to learn the basics of it. You don't need to become an expert there. Just the basic fundamentals will be good. How to write a PRD? Okay, so that's a very so it may take around an hour to answer that, but I'll try to summarize my answer in a very simple way. So PRD is a detailed document that encompasses anything and everything related to the feature of the product that you're building. Right? So when I say anything and everything, it could be how are users going to interact with your product? So when I say how are users going to interact, so what are the different buttons or touch points that are there? So in your go to meeting screen, you may be seeing a button of leave, right? You may be seeing a button of, let's say, questions or chat, right? So these are some of the elements which are decided in the PRD, that we need to show chat button, we need to show leave button. And then what is it that will happen when a user clicks on leave? What is it that will happen when a user clicks on chat? Now, how will chat work? Will it be one-to-one chat, or is it going to be one-to-many chat, right? Now, next step is, if it is one-to-one, how will it work, etc. So this is how a PRD is created. You tend to capture each and every element of it. PRD need not have a fixed structure, because no two features that you create in a product will be same. They can be entirely different. So it's very difficult to give a structure. As long as it is comprehensive, it has all the details that developers need to create that feature, it is good. You can add memes, you can add motivational quotes, so that people love reading that, because PRDs can be as big as 10, 15, 20 pages also. If your feature is very complex, or it has multiple components or multiple aspects, it can be very large document. So you can make it complex, you can make it funny, add Bollywood quotes, right? So nobody's stopping you, there's no fixed format. Just make it crystal clear, crisp. If you're using ChatGPT, Gemini, any other tool to write PRD, make sure that you read it yourself first, because simply copying and just giving it to developers is not going to work. It will give a lot of random things, and it will miss out on a lot of key elements also. So don't leave that. Okay. BRD is business requirement document, right? So business requirement document uh, is something that essentially you get from business, which is like a sales team, etc. That this is the kind of a feature that we want, right? So even though in theory we have BRD, but in reality, you get a one-liner message or maybe a call that, Vishal, we want to create this feature. Can you please help? Right? So that is essentially a BRD in real life. In theory, BRD is a good detailed document which will have like a hypothesis. What is it that clients want? What is it that we should build, etc. Like a short version, like a one pager or a two pager document to define the concept in a way. Right? One sentence that differs product and project managers. Project management is tracking, right? Product management is building, right? So tracking of projects is project management. Building of products is product management. If I were to just put it in one line, that right. Uh, what is one thing that most new product managers get wrong? Okay. I think if I have to pick this, that a lot of new PMs straight away jump into fancy things, right? Especially in today's time, when you can use tools like Lovable, ChatGPT, or prototyping tools to create very fancy things in just minutes, right? So a lot of new PMs try to jump the gun and try to have these all these fancy things right on day one. While I would highly recommend and suggest to you, focus on the fundamentals first. If your fundamentals are correct, you can build everything on top of it. If you really don't know what is 2 plus 2, then no matter what tool you use, you will always be dependent on it. You will always be dependent. Right? You will not be able to do it on your own. So focus on fundamentals, and fundamentals is product fundamentals, your industry fundamentals, and your company's fundamentals. For the first 30 days when you join, if the organization permits, if the culture of the organization is such that you have this leeway or leverage, my suggestion will be, for the first 15 days, go deep into the product to the level that you can eat, sleep, think, breathe, do everything for related to that product without any challenge or without any second thoughts. What people do is they straight away jump onto product, right? Because after 2 days, you start to think that it's boring. I'm just looking at same thing again and again. But you need to keep going, keep deep diving, deep diving, deep diving. your product, your company, and your competitors and your industry. For first 15 to 20 days, focus as much on it. Even if you are assigned on some project, set up some time to deep dive on these things. If you build your fundamentals right at the start, you will be able to leverage them later on. Right? Okay. So I'll take a couple of more questions now and then move back to the presentation. What metrics should we track to understand whether users like a feature? So it depends completely on the feature. Why did you create that feature? Think of it, right? Why did you create that feature? The reason for which you created that feature, are users using that feature for the same reason? Quantify that, and that metrics become your important metric to track, right? Why did you create a feature? So you have to think about it. How can you track, right, whether that purpose is being fulfilled, right? The metric you will use to track becomes the important metric for that feature. How can I learn to think like a user, an engineer, and a business manager, right? See, it comes with an experience. It's not that on day one you will get everything. So point is, keep learning, keep reading as much as you can. So the idea is to build these perspectives. If you keep reading about your company, the product, etc., right? How sales works, right? How do they go and sell? You can be part of those meetings if that's possible. Uh, you can understand the basic fundamentals of engineering or technology. Try to understand from engineering, etc., how it works. So if you have basic knowledge, if you have basic understanding of these aspects, so you all these things will automatically become part of your subconscious. So whenever you think of anything, you will keep all these aspects into your mind, right? So initially you may have to think hard, right? But they will come automatically to you. I have seen PMs getting hired from top IIMs or tier one college. I'm from tier two. Uh, do we are PMs really hired from top tier two colleges or tier three colleges? Yes, PMs are hired from all types of colleges, all types of backgrounds. So if anyone comes to you and says that you're not from IIM or IIT, you will not be hired. So don't listen to them. Right? There could be certain companies who may have a very rigid criteria that we would only want to hire from IIMs or IITs, but you can leave those companies. You can leave those companies. You may go to other companies that don't have that criteria and try to build a very solid profile such that whenever you apply to that company, the first company which requires IIM degree, they also hire you because of your profile. Right now, I have done from IIM, but there are still certain companies in the world who hires only from Harvard or Wharton or Stanford. But that's okay, right? So you have to be with, you have to be at peace with that. Maybe these could be handful companies, but for every 100 companies, there are maybe 10,000 companies wherein you can go and apply. Right? What are the most useful things that I can do during college to build PM skills? So I will talk about this in the next few slides. So I will move back to the slide deck now. Cool, yeah. And what do product managers do? So, apart from these serious things, we also ask for timelines from engineers a lot of times. That when will this go live? When will this go live? Why is it not going live? We fight with engineering also on timelines. They will say that we'll make this live in 2 weeks. We negotiate as if we are negotiating with a vegetable vendor, right? No, it should go live in 1 week, 2 days, 3 days, etc. And we do lots of meetings to explain, to understand, to coordinate, to communicate, and everything. Now, what are the different skill sets that PMs can build upon? Right. So these are 7 skills that I have listed here. Obviously, it can expand as per the need of the role, etc. But these are some of the generic skill set that one needs to have. So first is attention to detail, right? Whatever you do, whatever product you build, you need to have very strong attention to detail. Even when you're using an app, starting right now, whatever app you use, start analyzing it, start observing it. Why is it that this app is behaving in this way? Why this button is created or used, put at the bottom, not at the top? Why did I move from this page to this page? Why not other page? What could be the use of this page? So start thinking from that lens, right? So it is built mostly from observation. The more you observe, better attention to detail you will have, and smaller nuances. And this is what is very important, because if you don't have attention to detail, then you'll not be able to build good products. You will miss out on a lot of scenarios that could exist, right? User centricity. So you have to think that you are building product for your users, not for yourself. This is very important thing, which people typically tend to have, that they think themselves as the user, as the common bias, right? And build products accordingly. But you need to think that there are multiple such users who will be using your product, right? A simple example could be LinkedIn. Now, what are the different types of users who are using LinkedIn? One set is people who are writing content on LinkedIn. One set is people who are consuming content on LinkedIn. Now, there could be different buckets who are writing content. People who have started writing initially, people who write every week, people who write multiple times a week, people who have 5,000 followers, people who have 500 followers, people who have 50,000 followers, people who have 5 lakh followers. So, how do you cater to all such user bases, right? So you have to think of all these types of users, and the different stages that they can have with your product. Then analytical ability. Understanding data is really important. Otherwise, you will be building products completely based on your biases. I feel that this is the right thing, we should do this. I feel this is how users will behave. I have a feeling that this is how it will work. My hunch says that this is how it will work, which is completely wrong. So you need to be analytical, which means you need to rely on data. You need to understand how data is being used and accordingly build on it, right? uh, Research orientation, right? So you should be research oriented. You should be willing to look at your competitors. You should be willing to understand more about your industry, etc. Right? Keep learning, right? Is it that if you feel that you know everything in the industry or everything about your competitors, then you are not research oriented, right? You'll have to keep learning, keep building, right? Exhaustiveness. So it essentially means covering all bases. Are we looking at all the possible scenarios, which goes in close coordination with attention to detail. So we have to be very exhaustive in whatever we are doing. We should cover all the bases that are there. Structured thought process. Are we approaching problems in a structured manner? Because a lot of things in a product manager's career are unstructured. You may simply get a problem statement from somewhere that this is what we want to build, and you'll be like, how do I even proceed with this? You may not even have an idea on how to proceed on this. So can you break down that problem into smaller chunks and create a path, structured path, to come to the conclusion or to reach where you want to reach? And the last is communication. This goes with the previous slide also, where I mentioned that you need to talk to a lot of stakeholders, work with sales, customer support, etc. So having a good communication is really important. If you're not able to communicate what you are thinking, then it creates a big gap in terms of understanding of what people can do. Okay. So these are the 7 important skills. Most of these skills are soft skills. I'm not talking about hard skills, because hard skills like learning a tool, etc., you can do that anyways. You can pick up any course, any YouTube video tutorials, etc., and you can easily learn that. Now, very important thing. I think some of you may have this question also. Product management in AI world, right? Now, the way I see is that product management is evolving into 3 aspects or 3 types of PMs, right? First is AI enabled PMs, right? PMs who use AI. I use ChatGPT, I use Lovable, I use any tool to create or to make my life easy or to drive efficiency for myself. So I become an AI enabled PM in that case, right? I'm using that AI tool, right? That's simple. In today's world, this is a deal breaker. You cannot be a PM who is not using AI. You cannot be a PM. You should use it. You could use in different contexts. You could use to automate your task. You could use to drive efficiency. You could use to write documents. You could use to do user research, anything or many things, right? So you should use that. You should have basic understanding, or I'll say decent understanding of these tools, right? So if you're not doing that, you're anyways behind, probably more than 90-95% of the PMs, right? So jump the wagon, move ahead quickly. Second is applied AI PMs, right? So these are the PMs who are building applications on AI models. AI models are ChatGPT, Gemini, DeepSeek, Claude. So all these are AI models that are there. So applied AI PMs are building applications on these. As an example could be that if you guys have used LinkedIn, right? So whenever you try to create a post on LinkedIn, it will say use AI, right? So that is an example of a PM who has used AI to deliver a feature. That makes applied AI PMs, people who are using AI to deliver features or building applications. If you are building a content summarization engine, right? So then it also comes under applied AI. Tools such as Adobe, right, that are using AI in their PDF to summarize documents. So that also is applied AI. So they are leveraging existing models to create features that are using AI. So that becomes applied AI PMs. Third is core AI PMs. So this is the rarest breed, I will say, in today's time, and probably it will remain the rarest breed because it is a highly specialized skill set of people who are building AI platforms or AI models. PMs who are involved in building ChatGPT, PMs who are involved in building Gemini, PMs who are involved in building Llama, right? So they are core AI PMs, and I think uh, there would be very handful of people, maybe like 200, 250 people, or people globally right now. And this requires highly specialized skill set. Could be even having PhD degrees also in maybe computer science or maths or a very diverse background because it requires a good amount of technical knowledge also. Right? So these are the three types of PMs. So I see most of the jobs coming up and the most of the demand coming up in the second bucket, which is applied AI PMs. So the first bucket is like a no-brainer, right? It should be there. So you should be able to use any of the AI tools that are there. Right? Next is product manager's career trajectory, right? So it typically starts with associate product manager, right? APM or a junior PM also, right? So APMs or junior PM, so they start as freshers in organizations, right? And their major job is mostly around execution. They work with senior PMs or group product managers to execute features. A lot of thinking, user research, sales support, all these things is being done by senior PMs, right? Or seniors and above. APMs are more around executions. They think from like 15 days to 15 days, probably, which we call as sprints, right? So that is what they are involved in, and they play a supportive role for now, right? But again, the kind of responsibilities that they're able to take up, the kind of maturity that they show up, they quickly move to product manager, right? From APM to PM role. So a PM will typically take up like one smaller piece, right? Or one smaller feature independently, and they will try to ship it, right? Uh, then a PM will, the next level will be senior product manager or SPM. So they will uh, manage a larger piece, right? They will manage larger piece, and maybe APMs and PMs may also report to senior product managers. They will manage larger piece of the product, may not be the entire product, but larger piece. And then they try to deliver projects, they try to talk to users, they try to work with sales, customer support, etc. And they think in terms of quarters, that this is what we wish to achieve in the next quarter, or this is the quarterly plan that we have for next 1 year or so, right? The next level comes is group product managers or principal product managers also. So they could own multiple features within the product, right? They could own multiple sections and can have maybe 2, 3, 4 SPMs also reporting to them depending on the scale of the product that is there. Okay, so their job is around more around management and less around execution, right? But they are involved to some extent around on execution also, and mostly dealing with stakeholders wherever complex situations arise, compliance, regulatory, legal, etc. So they do that. And the level above is director or VP of product. So they are more involved in strategic alignment. What is the vision that a company should take? What is the direction that it should take? How are we doing with respect to competition? Creating reports for leadership, stakeholder, larger discussions. If there are certain external collaborations, partnerships, etc. So that could also fit in here. And maybe there could be one level above this in certain companies, which could be like a CPO, right? So the CPO manages the entire product, anything and everything to do with the product for the entire organization. There could be multiple VPs or multiple directors of product under a CEO as well, right? And again, depending on the scale of the organization, maturity of the organization, one may move from one level to the other level somewhere between 2 to 3 years, right? So if you are doing faster than 2 years, then you are doing really great. If you are doing beyond 3 years, then you have a scope of improving and moving at a faster pace. Now, how to get into product management, right? So building and showcasing your knowledge. So the first and most important aspect is learning the fundamentals, right? So there could be many things which you could do to build fundamentals, right? So you could read books. So a few books, if I were to just recall, one is Inspired by Marty Kagan. One is Hooked, Hooked by Neer Eyal. Another is Cracking the PM Interview, right? So these are some of the books through which you can learn fundamentals. One is Mom's Test, right? So these are some of the books that you can read to gain understanding and knowledge. Second is you can follow certain people, certain blogs, right? Maybe follow people on LinkedIn who write actively, right? So go through what they are writing. A lot of personal anecdotes, stories, concepts are shared there also. You can subscribe to newsletters. Uh, you can follow different blogs that are there, right? Third could be you can opt for any course that you may feel like, right? So depending on the kind of investment that you wish to make in terms of time, money, etc., you may opt for any course on Udemy or maybe like a 1 month, 2 month, 3 month, 6 months programs also. So depending on what you want to do. Right? So that's the most important thing of starting your journey in product management. If you don't understand the fundamentals, then you will not be able to understand. You will not be able to talk about jargons, right? You will, or everything will look like alien to you, like words are flying here and there around you, and you don't know. Second aspect is building your portfolio, right? Doesn't matter whether you work or whether you are a fresher, you are a student, or you are a working professional, so you can build a portfolio. Now, there could be different things in your portfolio. One could be product tier down, right? So product tier down essentially mean that you pick up any product, right? You may pick up Zomato, you may pick up District, you may pick up Notion, you may pick up GoToMeeting where we are having this meeting, you may pick up Google Slides or anything that you wish to, and you go deep into it. What are the primary use cases that this product is solving? What is the need for this product, right? What are the different features and functionalities of this product? How can this product improve? Where does this product stand with respect to industry or competition? So you can pick up all these elements and try to uh, cover in your product tier down. This is very important, right? It need not have a specific structure. You can pick up anything and everything, but my suggestion will be pick up smaller products, right, which solve one or two major use cases. If you pick up something like Zomato, then it may become like a very big detailed product, so that it can has many aspects, right? Food delivery, food search, and maybe dining out, even though it's part of district now. So you can decide what area you want to focus on. So try to focus on specific. Second thing that you can add in your portfolio could be prototypes, right? uh, Prototypes you can create using any of the AI tools. They're Lovable, you have Bold, you have Replit. So any of you, if you are an engineer, you can obviously use that. Even if you're a non-engineer, right, you don't know coding, you can do that very easily. All you need to do is just get your hands dirty, right? Sign up on Lovable and you can start working there. It's very easy, straightforward. You can do that. Pick up any problem statement, right? uh, you can start using that, right? Any product idea, any case study that you may have that you would want to build this type of product, start building that. You can do competitor benchmarking also, right? Let's say I want to benchmark uh, players in the e-commerce industry. What will I do? I will pick up Meesho, I will pick up Amazon, I will pick up Flipkart, and do a very detailed benchmarking among these three players, right? In terms of the SKUs they have, merchants they have, traffic they get, transactions they make, average order value, delivery time, feedback, ratings, etc. And like you can do like a 3 4 5 slides deck you can present and add everything, let's say to your Notion document or maybe in a Google Drive, etc. That becomes your portfolio. So do that. Next piece could be try to get some internship or freelance projects, right? If you are a student, my suggestion will be don't shy away from doing projects that don't even pay you, right? That's okay. I mean, if a project is there which pays you, great. If it doesn't pay you, but it gives you a ample opportunity to learn, you should take it, right? Obviously, depending on the time, etc., the other priorities that you have, you need to take that call. But if there is something that you can, my suggestion will be do that, right? Because you will get a hands-on knowledge of that. If you have hands-on knowledge, then it will become easy for you to showcase that in your interview, in your resume, in your portfolio also, right? And the last step is build your brand. Talk about product management. Let others feel that you know product management. If you don't talk about it, people will not know that you know product management, and it will simply look like that. Okay, you're just one more person in the entire pool that we have. So make yourself stand out. You can start talking about it on LinkedIn. You can create your own newsletter. Whatever you learn, you can write about it. You can do that also, right? So try to build your brand that ways also. So these are some of the things that you should do in order to kickstart your journey into product management. So that's all from my side, guys. Now I am open to questions that we have.
Thank you, Vishal. I think we have received multiple questions over the Q&A. Do you want me I should repeat it once again, or you will pick up from the chat?
I'll pick up from the chat. I'll pick up.
Yeah. So once that is done, we have received some 4 to 5 more questions over a email, and we'll take them. If you can answer them through these only, that would be fine. Otherwise, we would take them as well.
Okay, fair enough. So I think from the last time I dropped at, what are the most useful things that I can do during college to build PM skills? So I think that I talked about it. So you can pick up from there. What kind of jobs are available for this particular topic? So there are ample jobs, right? So every company that is building a product would need a product manager to help build the right products, right? So any product company that you pick up will need product managers, right? So if they're a large company, they will hire multiple product managers. If they're a small company, they'll hire maybe one or two product managers that are there. So there are ample opportunities out there now with AI. So this is also evolving into AI product managers. So you can also search for those jobs which will require some basic understanding of AI as well. Uh, so Anna, I think I'm not able to see any more question here. So are there any further questions?
Yes, Vishal, please scroll down. Otherwise, I'll take them and I'll keep asking you just a second.
Yeah, you can ask. I mean, I'm at the end of the scroll, so you
Okay,
can
ठीक
ask.
है. Yeah. So, one question is, what tools should students learn before applying for PM roles, such as Figma, SQL, GA, Jira, or something else? What should I learn first?
Okay. So first is building fundamentals, right? So tools will come later. Tools you can anyways learn, and no matter how many tools you learn, the organization may be using something else also. Certain companies may use GA, certain companies may use something else. But if you were to ask me what tools one should learn, so few traditional tools that have been there, right? Even before AI, you should definitely use them. One will be Figma. You can try your hand. If you can learn basic SQL, need not be an expert just to extract basic data also, that will be great. Google Analytics, yes. You can do mix panel, right? So I think these four tools should be good enough. Now, from AI perspective, you should definitely know ChatGPT, Gemini, these basic things, right? If you can use prototyping tools such as Lovable, Bold, Replit, these tools, they are also important to learn. I think so. They will. I mean, so if you use these tools, they will become part of your portfolio as well. So you can somehow put them in there also.
Thanks, Vishal. Moving forward, one question which we have received a quite number of time is that how can non-tech students transition into a PM role?
Okay, so you don't need to be a techie, honestly, right? So point is, uh, you just need to understand the basic aspects of product management. Again, I think I'm repeating myself a little too much around fundamentals of product management, because that's really important to uh, get moving in that direction. So you need to showcase that you understand what product management is, right? You need to showcase that you have good understanding, and you need to give confidence to the recruiter or the hiring manager that you can perform well as product manager. So these are the few things that you should do in order to do good or do well as a product manager, right? Now, if you're able to showcase these things, it doesn't matter whether you're from a technical background or you're from a non-technical. And in case of companies, when they come for campus hiring, so most of the companies are open to multiple branches when they hire for product managers, right? There could be few which are specific based on the internal role that they have, but most of the companies will be branch agnostic. So you will not have that limitation that one needs to have knowledge of coding, etc. So showcase your skills. First, build your skills, then showcase your skills. If you can do that, and you can give confidence to the recruiter that you know this space, I think your job is done.
Completely correct, Vishal. I think that answers the next question as well, which was how can I differentiate myself when everybody around me is interested in being a PM?
Yeah, I think
And
that's the same thing.
yeah, so moving forward to the next question is if my college does not have a PM internship, what are the alternative ways in through which I can enter the product space?
Okay, so there are many aspects, right? So apply on different platforms if college doesn't offer, right? So you can look on Naukri, you can look on different platforms. You can reach out to people in your network. Try to seek referral from people, right? Wherever you have a connect, try to reach out to them, request them, and while you are telling them or while you are reaching out to them that, hi, I'm looking for an internship in product management, do something before that, right? So give them good enough chance that they should bet on you. If you don't do that, why will they bet on you, right? If think of it, if I were to reach out to you as a random person and say, please hire me as a product manager, what will you think? I don't have any background in product management. You'll be like, Vishal, what are you talking about? Right? So think from a recruiter's lens also. Recruiters want to hire you. It's just that you have to give them enough chance, right? Enough confidence that they will hire. So if you don't have campus, if you don't have internships in your campus, best will be uh, reach out to your network, reach out to people individually, look for companies. So you can, what you can do is you can look for companies that are coming in Shark Tank, right? One simple thing, right? So search uh, for those companies, look at their founders, try to get email IDs of their founders, right? Send them an email with a very personalized message and maybe 2 or 3 slides on how can you contribute to their to their product also. So put in some effort when you're reaching out. So if you do that, your chances of response will increase significantly.
Okay, Vishal, moving forward is which courses or certifications you would prefer to learn product management?
Okay. So there are plenty, right? So I wouldn't name anything, but you can uh, so first is it depends on your budget, right? So whether you want to look for, I mean, you're looking to invest 1,000 rupees, 5,000, 10,000, 50,000, etc. So what is your budget that you have? So based on that, you take a call. Second is, what is the expected outcome that you want to get from it? Is it pure play learning, or you also want some branding, right? So if you are also looking for some sort of a branding from a reputed institute, then there are plenty by IIT Roorkee, IIMs, ISB, etc. Right? They're slightly expensive. You can look for them also, right? If it is pure play learning, then you may opt for courses that are slightly in the lesser range, maybe like 10,000 to 30,000 range, etc. From a branding perspective, if you opt for any of these certified programs, these are typically like 4 to 6 months long programs. So they may cost you somewhere from maybe 1.5 lakh rupees to 3 lakh rupees. So depending on the budget objective that you keep, so you can identify accordingly.
Thank you, Vishal. Moving forward is how can I show product thinking in my resume, even when even if I don't have a work experience?
So you cannot show that in resume, you can show that in your portfolio. So build portfolio and provide link to your portfolio in your resume.
Okay, I think that answers our question well. And the second last question is how is AI changing the skill expectations from the future product managers?
So I think that to an extent I answered that. So the expectation is that you should be able to understand the use cases of AI in your world, right? Wherever you work in the company, in the industry, and apply those use or build those use cases in the organization. If you can't do that, so then you're falling behind. That's very important. Second is how are you improving your productivity, right? Are you able to quickly prototype, right? Things which were taking, let's say, 2 days earlier, can you do that in like 2 hours right now? And a lot of things have become easy to do or faster to do. Can you drive some of the proof of concepts, we call them as POCs? Can you drive these POCs on your own? You may not need to go into your engineering team and do it on your own. So these are some of the nuances, at least in today's time. Obviously, as we proceed, as AI evolves, so these things could change. But in today's time, these are the 3, 4 areas where we are seeing maximum change and impact.
Okay, so students, the last question for today's session is what kind of projects or case studies should freshers include in their PM portfolio? Is it important for me to learn coding to become a PM?
So I think second part I've already answered that you don't need to know coding, right? First part, uh, pick up any problem statement that you feel in your day-to-day life, right? Anything that you feel that there could be a product for this, anything that you feel, right? So that can become a project for you that you can pick up and build, right? So if you want specific nuances, so I don't think I can share that, but I keep publishing some of these case studies or projects that you can do on my LinkedIn profile. So you can reach out to me on LinkedIn. So this is my LinkedIn URL. So So you can search for me, and I keep posting some of these case studies, etc., which you can try to practice or maybe build product around it on your own.
So, thank you so much, Vishal, for such an insightful and practical session today. And to everybody who joined us today, if you want to explore a career in product management, I think Vishal gave us a very good outline and a detailed full session for the same. What I would suggest is take actions, build your projects, and analyze the products and keep learning. And if you have any doubts, please connect with Vishal over his LinkedIn. Thank you, everyone who joined in today. Thank you, Vishal.
Thank you, everyone. Wish you all the very best for your career in product management or whatever you do, and would love to stay in touch. You can connect with me over LinkedIn, and have a good day ahead. Thank you so much.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you.